It's Sunday, and you guys know what that means. It is another week of Unturned Pages. We are turning the page and talking about shamanism tonight. Super excited. How are you, Alicia?
I am good, but I am tired, but I am still kicking.
That's good. Better than Derek's probably sleeping in your room right now.
Oh yeah, snoring. Song off.
Snoring. Snoring, yes, right. So tonight we have GrandDaughter Crow. She is a Native American coming from the Navajo tribe, but we will be talking about shamanism and all that fun things to go with that. But first, let's do our weekly little slideshow here. We still have some t-shirts. We do have our long sleeves, hoodies, and zip ups for pre-orders, and t-shirts for pre-orders open. I'm probably gonna close pre-orders on the 7th of September, so you got a little less than 2.5 weeks, give or take, to get your order in. If you are interested, t-shirts are 25 plus shipping. Long sleeves are 35 plus shipping, and then hoodies and zip ups are 45 plus shipping. Fall is just around the corner, so you want to be able to be warm and cozy, but also supporting Unturned Pages, one of your favorite podcasts here.
Happy fall, y'all.
I can't believe August is almost over and it's almost September.
I know.
What the heck? We still have a couple of our bracelets left on Unturned Pages. They are 44 plus shipping, or you can go to moxiemalas.com and have it drop shipped from Moxie themselves to you. So great protection bracelet for any investigations or everyday protection. Let's skip this. Next weekend, next Sunday, we do have War Party Paranormal. And then the 7th, we have Jamie, executive assistant to Scarefest. So we'll be talking about everything that will be happening at Scarefest in October. I'm super excited because I will be at Scarefest for the first time ever. I'm super excited for that. Thank you to our sponsors, Small Town Productions, Larry Eisler III, Creepy Crates, Reaper Paranormal out of Minnesota, our August and September sponsor, Paraware. Get all your paranormal t-shirts and cryptozoology t-shirts from Paraware. And then, of course, Breaking Fate Entertainment. They do have a new store opening in October in DeKalb, Illinois. So we're going to be talking about a lot about that soon. I'm super excited for Willie and his team for that. Dark Arts and Oddities is coming up very fast. It is November 15th and 16th. So please go out and support that event. At the end of August is FCICon. Not FCICon, ISSCon. Out at Indiana State Sanitarium and Billy Creek Village. It's $20 for the day. Come out, hang out. I will be a vendor. I will be doing oral photography, selling merch, slinging tarot and oracle decks from left to right, There's raffles, amazing raffles. You can win investigations for 2026 there. So that is the 30th of August at ISS in Billy Creek. So super excited for that. Let's see. I don't think I have any more, so we'll take that off. So our guest today is GrandDaughter Crow. She is a medicine woman, a public speaker, teacher, intuitive reader, and award-winning author of Wisdom in the Natural Realm. She also holds a doctorate in leadership, descended from a long line of spiritual leaders. GrandDaughter Crow is an empath, medium, and member of the Navajo Nation. So let's bring her on here. There we go. Welcome.
Oh, Ya'at greetings from the Navajo Nation. I am so happy to be on your podcast tonight and to spend some time with both of you. So, yeah, thank you for having me on your show.
I'm so glad you were able to, and that Jenny Bell got us connected, because I hadn't heard about you until Jenny brought you up to me and was like, you got to have her on. You're a metaphysical podcast as well as paranormal, and she talks about the shamanism and everything that goes with that. So I was like, game on bring me her info so they connected with her, and it led up to this tonight.
I love Ginny C. Oh, hi, Alicia. I love Ginny C. Bell. Oh my God, she is amazing.
It really is amazing. I love her. I read her book, and I'm like, I need you to come on my podcast because your book is so good and it brings in different information about crystals that not a lot of other books bring in.
Yes.
So it was really good. I like her. She's really cool.
She's great.
So tell us a little about yourself. How did you get into shamanism and the practices of shamanism?
Right. So that's a great question, because how did I get into shamanism? It's funny because I didn't. It got into me. So basically, what I'm suggesting is my father, Reverend Jackson Yazzie, Navajo Nation. I am his descendant. We come from a long line of spiritual leaders and medicine people, to include when my Aunt Alice was on this earth. She was a high priestess of the peyote. And just a side note, she learned English and then she never spoke it. She loved the native language, Navajo, so much. So Ya'at-e, Ha'at-i Banda'at-de. That is a little bit of Navajo flavor for you guys. It just basically means hello, what's up, and so I went along my way and I got into metaphysical things and I got into spiritual things. And then people started inviting me to lunches and saying, "You're a shaman, right?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I guess until they stop calling me that, I guess I am." And that's 20 years in the making. They keep calling me a shaman. Jenny, Alicia, I'm just like, okay, I guess I act like a shaman. I know that that's a very fun way to put it, but it's not like I went like, oh, shamanism is my path. I'm going to learn it. I'm going to get certified. I'm going to teach it. In that Western thinking mind, that's what we do. We go, I'm going to pick, what I want to be when I grow up, so to speak. And then we go to school and we learn and we read books and we get certified. Well, right. This is not the way of my people. We didn't have certificates in the Navajo way. What we had was, if the natural world and spirits talk to you, then the natural world and spirits talk to you. And hence then you are considered a medicine person. Oh, yay. Hey, big. Oh, I see this shout out. Hey, big sis. I love you. I know who you are, my dear little one. And so it's kind of like this whole idea of being yourself and let the rest of the world label you. And yes. I think that is the most authentic. And, I'm being a little funny, but not, in that for me, authenticity is the gift that the Creator gave all of us. And the more that we listen to, I got to be like this, I got to know that, I got to be certified here and there. I mean, that's great. I love curiosity. We can talk about that, but it shouldn't be a driving force to change who you authentically are. I love you too, little sis. And it's just, don't let the world change who you are. Be enough so that when you walk in the room, they're like, oh, there you are. Just like if a bird flew in, just like if a raven flew in, just like if an eagle flew in, they're like, oh, that's an eagle. You don't need to announce yourself. And so for me, it was a very different path. Oh, Sierra's here too. I love this. How do you guys do this? Okay, sorry guys, but
you're okay.
Big love to all of you. I invited my peeps. Let's hang out on Sunday night.
Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the thing is that it's kind of like, if you can find your inner voice, the one that Creator gave you, and be that, it sounds so easy on one side, but it is the most difficult thing to do, because people will challenge you every direction that you go, but as long as you're authentic. So basically, I am a medicine person. I'm a medicine woman. They keep calling me shaman. I am shaman. I walk shamanistic paths. I, I saw that, Alicia, you held up my latest book, and it's like, yes, if I wrote a book called Shamanism in Your Shadow, right, then obviously I'm a shaman. But the truth is that that's just who I am, and they gave me the title.
That is awesome. So we're talking about shamanism. Can you, for people who are listening to the podcast and don't know quite what shamanism means, can you go over that in like a brief way so people can understand where we're going to be talking about today on the podcast?
Absolutely not. I can't go over it in a brief way, Jenny. It's too
but
I'm just teasing you. I'm teasing you.
Way.
No, I'm teasing you. I have been following your podcast, and I've watched numerous episodes, and I'm just like, oh, let's play with these ones. Let's play. Let's have a little bit of fun. Yeah, shamanism would be considered an earth-based, some would say religion. I don't say religion just because that the way that I define religion being a man-made concept of the divine. I lean towards spirituality, but yet I understand what they're saying, like a spiritual path, right? Mm-hmm. So Alicia's like, yeah, I get what you're saying. So shamanism is like an earth-based path that an individual will like be called or take upon themselves or have a calling for, or find, like, however you get called is going to be as authentic as you are. But it's about being able to journey into altered states in order to bring balance into the community. And when I say altered states, I mean even like prayer, meditation, focus, candle, breath work, to be able to open up your consciousness enough to be able to see the world from a different perspective than what 3D people see it as. And I know under Turning Pages, you've got you guys see things, the paranormal, ghost hunting, and all of this. Basically, there is a construct within shamanism that is like, I can talk with Mother Earth and she talks with me. And in that exchange, I can request of her how to balance or harmonize an ailment within one person in the community or the community itself or the collective. So I think that the next question would be something like, well, what is that different than a healer, an empath, a witch, a druid, whatever. And the thing is that, yeah, I'm a witch too, and I think I put that title on myself before they started calling me shaman. And it's just kind of like, because what I was trying to get to, and I think what we're trying to get to, is this understanding of the little nuances of what changes if you are one thing versus another. And I am not here to tell you that you need to be shaman. I'm not here to say be shaman. I also wanted to tell you guys that some people in the term will say, I am shaman. And some schools of thought, they're like, no. You never call yourself shaman. You always say you're a shamanic practitioner.
Right.
I'm good with both. If you go to a class and they say that, do that because they have a reason for saying that. I would say they called me shaman, so I'll hold that title for them. And when they stop calling me that, then I stop behaving as that. And the beauty is, I want to hear this. I do theological clearing and families? Yes, as a shaman, I want steps to, I love that. Yeah. To use to create, yeah, to help clear negative energy. And the thing is, and I love that question, because as a shaman, I don't clear negative energy, and that's just me. Kick me off your show. What I do is I talk to all energy with respect, and then I locate it. And sometimes it is in the emotion of one person or another, an imbalance within that. So I know that you're probably like, well, I didn't mean negative energy, GrandDaughter Crow. So I'm not trying to get like that with you at all, Angie. I love you. But at the end of the day, it's this ability to kind of see energy as energy.
Right.
And the concept of animism, which means all holds energy and spirit, and then approach all with respect, not necessarily walking up to it saying you're good or bad, but relieving that and going, you don't belong, you belong, this is out of balance, this is imbalance. So I hope that I, answered that question correctly. And I hope I answered your question correctly, because I'm just excited about being on your show.
Absolutely. I know my mom asked, because we used to own a metaphysical store, and a lot of like Reiki practitioners, shamanic Reiki people ask for the shaman balls. Do you do like Reiki, and if you do you use the shaman balls during your practices?
I love this question. Shout out to Bonnie. And also you, but I don't do Reiki. I have not been trained. I would. I've got nothing against it, but I haven't been trained, and I haven't gone through all of that. But I do energy healing, and do I use shaman balls? And this is great, because I didn't know I was until they told me that that's the name of what I was using. So I mentioned earlier that my Aunt Alice, when she walked this earth, she was known to be a high priestess of the peyote way. And she would not speak English. Well, I speak, a little bit of Navajo. And so the translation was difficult. But my dad helped translate. And one day, long story, need another episode for that. But she sent me a perfectly sphere ball. It was like a circular, like dough, right?
Yep.
And she said in this, could it be that the creator fashioned us in a circle? And so I carry that, because it sounds so simple, but therein lies the magic. Could it be that the creator created us in a circle? And so, yes, I do have off of the Navajo reservation a circular ball, which I would call a shaman ball, but I don't always utilize it in the way that other shamanistic practitioners may ask you to. And I support whatever speaks to your heart, do what's in your heart. So yes and no.
It was kind of cool and ironic that you were saying about like us being like created like as in a sort of form of a ball. And there's that quote that some people say, you're like a ball of energy when you walk into a room or something like that.
Oh, so you're the shaman ball, Alicia?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely light up rooms, and everyone's always excited to see me. I work in a group home, so all the individuals, they always are rushing to me in the mornings or whenever I come in. So I always bring the energy, and I'm always making them laugh. And yeah.
I love that. And so then you can, and I think that that's the beauty of saying things very, what some people would go, oh, well, that was simple, and having that depth is because each person will hear something different.
Right.
And so, yes, Alicia, could it be that you were fashioned in that ball of energy? Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like a lot of it, like you were talking about the way of shamanism and like what I'm trying to say is the programming, like how we're grown up and programmed and getting out of that mindset, like going into the breath work or the meditation and then being able to see like a bigger picture and like your mind being more open. Like I'm definitely that type of person. So yeah, that just came to me and it just made me think about that when you were explaining that.
So as from a shaman, what I would say that just happened to you is that you recognized your medicine or one part of your medicine, meaning that the shaman or the medicine ball or you as a person walks into a room and it affects change. That medicine, maybe you were born with it and that would be beautiful. But a lot of times life will make it so that you keep going, I need to be the smile in the room because all of this stuff is really hard. So a lot of times life's pressure creates the shaman by molding it and fashioning it into the shaman stone ball thing. So you know what I'm saying? It's and I know that I'm kind of lighthearted. I've got a very happy soul, but at the end of the day, what you did was maybe when you walk away from this, you can go, maybe the creator created me to do this, and I, in my own free will, have decided to bring this bundle of sunshine to the people. That would be shamanistic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. Yeah. So I know, like, when we owned a metaphysical store, a lot of people came back because we sold, like, Palo Santo, white sage, all of that, like, smudging products. A lot of people said, clapped back and said, only natives should be owning Palo Santo and white sage. What are your thoughts on, like metaphysical stores and like even some of the grocery stores here sell white sage? What are your thoughts on like people using Native American practices like white sage for smudging and clearing energy?
Yeah. You know, I'll be very blunt. Oh, yay, I've got Carla. Hi, Carla, I love you. I'll just say it as blunt as I can. I was born in 1970. They didn't ask me at that time. They told me I was Indian. And they never asked me, oh, should we call you Indigenous, First Nation, Native American? What do you want to be called? I'm in my 50s now, and people are asking me questions like that. And what I want to do is bring the awareness without the weirdness, but bring the awareness of that it is at this point in our society that we're beginning to understand things such as cultural appropriation,
Right.
cultural appreciation, and all of that. So I'm catching up with you guys. And I want you to know that because a lot of times when we pose questions to an Indigenous person, you know, if they're on social media a lot, they got the jargon, but really they're like, oh, well, Shizer, what do I say? I don't know. Like, and so what I would say is do everything that you do with consciousness, gratitude, and an open heart. And be aware of the sensitivities.
Right.
So and so here we go. Let me throw this down.
Mm-hmm.
Native American are not the only people, the five fingers, that have burned sage.
Right.
So because it is our connection with land, burn what is with the land as a sacred thing. But do not say, I am burning GrandDaughter Crow's Navajo sage. That would not be well, right? That would not go over well. So it's about, and I know that I'm a little forward thinking about this because I want to respect. Let me also throw this down really quickly. My father was born in 1932. At that time in history, he was at the age of 8. Not my grandfather, my dad was taken off of the reservation out of his hogan and placed in a boarding school. So, and his hair was cut and his language was taken and he was whitewashed, is what I call it. So, in that, I know the plight. I know what cultural erasure looks like.
Right.
I know that if a government comes up against a red body, they've done it already and I'm still here. So I have all of that sharpness and that depth. However, I'm not trying to give people who are trying to clear their room a complex because they did something wrong that they don't know. So what I'm trying to say is be aware of, is there plenty? Did you grow it yourself? Is what you are burning white sage, lavender, cedar? Is it something that supports where you are? And did you harvest it with respect and giving back? And if so, just like my red body, whatever color your body is, your ancestors did that too.
Right.
So I have gone and I have purchased from metaphysical stores the white sage that maybe was rolled by, a white body. It burned fine because of my intention. And now when sage is becoming over harvested, even myself, I'm like, maybe I need to back up off of that or plant some in my own backyard. It's about respect and relations. So I love that question. I think it was really, really well. And I hope I answered it because I'm really forward thinking with that.
Well, definitely. Because it's like what we told people, like when we bought it from the companies that we bought it from, they always sourced it ethically. Like they didn't go and do things that some other companies might have done. They sourced it through the correct people down like Arizona or other good local source, right, sage. But everybody, like there's some people that came into the store and said, you guys aren't Navajo, you aren't Native American, you shouldn't be burning right sage. I'm like, that is your opinion, and it's all with intention. Like, what are you using the right sage as for intention? Like, what are you doing with the right sage?
And awareness, I think, and awareness to go, I stepped into somebody else's house and I just opened up their fridge and I need to maybe approach it. Maybe they're not recognizing it or they have a lot of pain around that. So that's, you're absolutely right. It's kind of like we're right now at this moment in history and society that we're actually talking about this, because I've had so many conversations in the last year or 5 years going, well, GrandDaughter Crow, what do we call you? Do we call you this? Do we call you indigenous? And it's kind of like, I don't know. I never knew that I was allowed to ask those types of questions. And so, it's all about, I think this beautiful person said it. And when you approach somebody and their culture, do not approach it with anything except curiosity and respect, as though you are walking into their grandmother's home. You don't know what that doily means. You don't know what that little fixture means. You are gracious. And when you learn, then you can get more comfortable. But when you are in the privacy of your own home, be right with nature.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. Like, it's your intention and giving respect to where it came from, your land, and other things like you just said, definitely makes sense.
I have so many questions for you.
Go.
I have another one, a couple of them. Can we talk about, well, we'll start off with this one. can we talk about getting messages through spirit, through animal? Because I've had a few incidences, well, not incidences, but signs, like my husband and I were going through a rough patch in our marriage, and I had a feeling something was going to happen. And I mean, I knew it. So I was taking a walk and I was upset, and randomly, I've never seen this dog in my life in our neighborhood, and it was a black dog. And so I knew, because black is a symbolism of loyalty and trust. Loyalty is a dog, and I forgot what black was, but I knew, and it was lost. So that, to me, that the loyalty was gone at that moment, and it was true. I pieced it together, though, through, I knew that spirit gave me a sign, just a validation. So
yeah, I hear your question, Alicia. I hear it loud and clear, because I get this question a lot because of the heightened sensitivity towards terms of animal spirit, spirit totem, and spirit animal.
Yeah.
And that those are under like an indigenous, I guess, warehouse or whatever, wheelhouse. But at the end of the day, if you step back from all of it, animals, plants, Mother Earth are everywhere on the globe. And they spoke to our ancestors. Now, I don't care if your ancestors were European or Asian. I mean, I do care, because I love you guys. But I mean, it doesn't matter. The terminology is the sensitivity here. The terminology of in this day and age. And I respect that. I get people who come at me going, GrandDaughter Crow, you're giving the colonizers our medicine. And I'm like, no, they had black dogs. You know, how the black dog talked to them is how the black dog talked to their spirit. So I'm very forward thinking, or maybe I go back far enough in history. So as far as animal spirits, throughout all religions, be it the dove of peace, or, scary movies where the crow comes up in the graveyard, to the fact that in Denver, Colorado, we call our football team the Broncos.
Right.
Are we appropriating, or are we trying to utilize language that we have seen to help us to quickly communicate? Like, I'm a night owl. I'm as busy as a bee. These are all of those colloquialisms that we utilize in order to bring a picture forward and a spirit forward in our collective mind. So once again, maybe under the sensitivity, and like I said, I should be one of the highest sensitives with this, because it was my own dad and I was raised in that household. But at the end of the day, let's take it all back. Like 200 years, 300 years, let's go to Salem and the witch trials, like those black cats. Were they, did they need to be native in order to talk? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, let's be respectful with our language, read the room when we are talking to certain people, because there are high triggers. But let the animals talk to you. Don't let anybody gatekeep that.
What do you think about there was this time, and I found a caterpillar in the grocery store I was working at, and I was like, oh no. So I picked it up very carefully. I took it outside and I put it on this tree. The very next day, I came into work, in the same exit that I went out, there was a butterfly trapped in it. And so I can't believe it, but I was able to put my palm out, and it crawled onto me and it wouldn't let go. I got outside and it still wouldn't go, but at one point it did fly away. What do you think, was Was that like spirit saying thank you?
I love that you heard thank you, because in that moment you took the position of caretaker, and helper and steward. But what I think Spirit was also saying is, oh, when you are blind and lost in an environment that is not familiar to you, someone will take you out and you will feel comfortable and you will transform and you will spread your wings. It was kind of like it was your teacher. So that's how I see it from a shamanistic point of view, that it was actually your teacher, your shaman at that moment. And because you helped it, just like the lost dog that you talked about, it was lost in a grocery store. And you are the one who will bring the medicine to help, and it brought you help. And so spiritually or emotionally, it kind of said, even if you feel trapped in a cocoon in a world that you do not recognize, Spirit will come along and take you into a place, and you will also fly. And you know why you can have the beauty to do that is because you did it for another, period.
I have goosebumps. I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah, that's why I'm here on your show.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So I love it, you guys. I love it. Whatever questions you have, yeah, I'm open.
Hold on one
You
second.
go ahead, Jenny. Oh, okay. No. All right. I'll give her a minute.
Sorry, the kiddo wanted to get a hug.
Hi, River.
Hi, River. Hi, River.
She's laughing. She's like, okay. Good night. So in your book, you talk about 4 specific animals and how they're kind of like taboo in like the shamanic aspect. Can you go through what those 4 are and why a lot of people don't talk about those?
Absolutely, Jenny. So my latest book that released from Llewellyn Worldwide in February, right? We all have our copies. Shamanism in Your Shadow by GrandDaughter Crow. These 4 animals, the raven, the snake, the owl, and the wolf, came. And the reason why they are in the book is because when you talk about shadow work, that's taboo. When you talk about ravens in the graveyard at the outskirts of the war, the battle, that's taboo. When you talk about snakes in the Garden of Eden that lied to Eve and now we have menstrual cramps, that's taboo. When you talk about the owl that showed up in that one movie and it looks so alien and you can't hear it coming, that's taboo. When you talk about the big bad wolf, that's taboo. And so it is with shadow. It is a misunderstanding of what we construct as taboo within our Western culture at this moment in time. So these wonderful spirit guides are going to walk with you through shamanism in your shadow to be able to help you to see, to make you feel a part of the pack.
Awesome. More the page in the book. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. What is it? You were talking about like the medicine wheel in your book. For people who don't know what the medicine wheel is, can you quickly talk about that and why it's so important when you're working with your shadow work and the shamanic work?
Absolutely. So there are so many classes and books about medicine wheel. So all of that plus what I'm going to say. A medicine wheel is an external construct of circular around you, encompassing you. And it is an external concept that if you sit with it long enough, it'll become an internal construct of the ability to balance yourself within, even though it has different parts to it. So in the book, yeah, the medicine wheel, it is a circle. Yeah, I love it. It's a circle and it's like a pizza pie, right? And you divide it into these different slices, and each of these slices are different aspects that if you sit with, they all find a synchronicity. They're a family that will become alive within you so that you can embody that energy. So, for example, the first one would be the morning in the east, in the spring. What do the morning, the east, and the spring have in common? Waking up. Whether it's you waking up, the sun rising, the east is where the sun rises. So it's new beginnings. So in our English speaking mind, we could say morning, new beginning, spring, but in our body, it feels like this. It feels like time to get up.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you go and then you hit noon and summer and, all of that, and then you go to the west and the south, and then in the west you hit the evening and you hit autumn, and in the north you hit the nighttime and you hit, the winter. Depending on how you understand beginning and middle and end, your body will understand it because it held itself in that energy of the morning, the east, and finding the similarity that relates to the body without English. And so when you stand in a medicine wheel, and there are all kinds, pick up the book, shameless promo, or any other book, and create a medicine wheel, because basically what it is like
the four directions.
The 4 directions, the 4 seasons, the 4 times of your life, whether it's birth, adolescence, adulthood, and elder, there are similarities, and it shows a pattern and a rhythm to your body that you can go, okay, this is where I am. This is where I am. And ask me any more questions. That made sense to me.
So I was going to ask for you saying that, like the different seasons and stuff. So talking about like astrology, I know this is completely off topic, but like, say I'm a Cancer. So like during that period that the Cancerian is, like you feel like more, you feel better, like more energetic and like more positive and stuff. Is that kind of similar to what you're saying is like?
I love that question. I love it. And I love that you're a sweet Cancer baby. I love that. It shows that nurturing side. But really what that would do is probably help you astrologically when you're standing in the medicine wheel that I provided in the book. It would show you what part of the 4 direction do you feel the strongest in, that is your key strength, that is your empowerment, and then bringing that forward in your life to balance the other energies that you're less familiar with. Hence the whole balance of the medicine wheel. I know you've got that, huh, Jenny? She's got that whole thing. And so it really is definitely about self-awareness, finding where you feel the most comfortable, where you feel the most empowered, and then being able to bring that empowerment forward when you are dealing with things that are outside of your comfort zone. So it's kind of like, I don't know the North, but I love the South. I don't know, and so what I will do is I will understand the South. I'll stand straight in the South, and I will take that energy and help me be empowered enough to be curious enough about the North. I mean,
so learning how to work through that.
Yes.
Different
and finding your balance, because we all have strengths but we all sit in the same circle, so to speak.
Right.
So it would be like your job of another way to say it, because I'm going macro and micro, right? I'm saying it's within you, and I'm saying it's everything that there is. And that is like a shamanistic journey, understanding the micro and the macro. So when you understand the micro of where you are, then macro in your community, you will have that strength and that approach. You'll be like, I understand the West. I am liquid. I understand this. I understand that. I don't necessarily understand and cannot hold the position of the other members of the tribe or the circle, but I can stand here in this. And then you bring it to community. When you're doing it with yourself, then it helps to go, I understand how I'm feeling about this. Let me take this strength and understand what I'm uncomfortable with. So it's micro and macro.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. In your book, I'm looking at it right now. You quickly talk about using crystals. Does that relate to like the medicine wheel or like the animal totems?
Oh, that's so cute. I would say that just as the creator created us to be authentic,
Mm-hmm.
and at the beginning of the show, I was talking about being your authentic self, that which the creator created you to be. What I also believe is that creator, whatever you call it, God, goddess, whatever you call it, however it reveals itself to you, is actually saying that I am going to give you a compass to walk your way in the world. And this compass is called curiosity. I'm going to make you curious about the things that you need to know in order to get through life. So if you are curious about animals, I will make you curious. I brought that to you. And if you follow that curiosity, it will lead you home. And if you're curious about crystals and stone, like Jenny C. Bell, love it. And also, the other people that you guys have in your crystal shop and all of this, hail to the crystals and the shaman stones. But if that is your curiosity, that will lead you home. Now, if you are a person who's curious about animals and stones and crystals, then that will lead you home. There are so many ways up this mountain. So when it comes to crystals, I can align them with the chakra system very easily. Right. It's a little bit more difficult to align them with astrology, but it can be done. But when it comes to aligning them with animals, that's a hard one. I don't know, but whatever makes sense to you, let it make sense to you.
Absolutely. Alicia, I bet you have more questions.
I do.
Alicia's like, I have so many. Where do I start?
I've watched your videos and I've never seen you so talkative. So go for it. Let's hear it.
So let's talk about nature. I read a little part about the trees and stuff, and it kind of was like, whoa, because it was about a few months ago, or not even, and I was sitting outside, and I love nature. So I'm sitting out there and I'm looking at the tree swaying. And I was like, you know what? It kind of looks like the branch, not the smaller branches with the leaves on it. It's kind of like the hair of the tree. Mm-hmm. And like the bigger branches are the arms, and the trunk is the body. And then the roots, like being its nerves or whatever, and like being grounded to earth. And it just made me think so much of like how we're so much like trees.
Bingo. You nailed it. You nailed it. So like you could literally go, the trunk is my backbone. And in the chakra system, the trunk holds all of my chakras. And I need to root in to the natural world, into my medicine, into that which is teaching me, the grounded philosophical belief systems of whatever your tree is, and then allow it to branch out as you learn, you gain and grow, and then you branch out. And then you get little leaves, these little ideas that last a season, then they fall off and they dance down the road. So we don't have to hold on to all of our ideas like leaves. But if you look at it, it is like the nervous system, right? And so you just talk to that tree. The next time you see that tree or any other tree, and you are in a place where you're looking for an answer, remember what you heard from that tree, because it spoke to you and you translated it into English, but it gave you an impression. You translated that into English. Let that happen again, because what I've done is I feel like downtrodden, or am I showing my age if I say downtrodden? Probably, huh? But you feel downtrodden or defeated or whatever. And all of a sudden you look at a tree and you're like, how old are you? And what kind of windstorms and rainstorms and snowstorms have you gone through? And yet you still stand.
Yes.
I'm going to be a tree today. And moreover, you could go, I'm working on a project, but it's not growing fast. I'm working on a project and I keep doing all this stuff. What does a tree tell you? Well, it took me a while to grow. Are you trying to grow a weed that will come up overnight, but could be loose roots that you could pull? Or are you committed to building a tree and it's nobody can see what's going on inside, but you are gaining and growing and getting stronger? In that, you are also releasing old thoughts, just like the leaves release and they dance down the, old relationships, old stuff, and you keep growing. Another really quick, I know I get inspired. Another thing that the tree teaches is, especially the ones who leaf, not the evergreens, and my husband knows all about these. And he's like, why didn't you say deciduous and blah, blah, blah? I'm just like, I don't know. But anyway, the thing is that it helps us to understand that there is a time in our life that we have no energy.
Right.
And neither does the tree. And you know what that time is called? Winter. It is the time when all of the sap goes down to your roots to ground you. And you're not coming up with new thoughts and you're not moving forward. Wait until the environment around you, metaphorically, turns into a warmer environment. And then the tree, the sap comes up and you start bearing fruit. You don't have to bear fruit all around, the seasons of the year. You bear fruit one season. The rest of it is that preparation. So you don't always have to, you can go dormant, and that is perfectly natural. And the tree does it, and it's here for thousands of years. Well, million. It's older than us.
I actually have a tree, angel oak tattooed on this arm, because you were talking about how old some of these trees are and thinking about how old are you. And I just fell in love with those angel oaks when I went down south, because thinking about the history that they've seen and how long they've been standing there, and they just have this mystery about them. You wonder what they've seen.
Right. Just like the redwood trees out in California. Like, see how old those are and how tall they are.
And how big. I mean, I haven't been out there, but apparently, they're really, really huge. But that's exactly right. If you gain nothing more than the ability to see your life through the lens of a tree, then mic drop, I did my job. Because here's one more point, and I know that we can go on and on, but here's my point.
Part two.
Part two. Here's my point. A tree wakes up in the morning as we do in a 24-hour day. But when it does, it is in the morning of the year, the spring. We get to our noon a few hours later, according to us in our timeline. And the tree does that in the summer. We get tired in the afternoon and we decide that we want to start going to sleep, go to bed. And that takes us a few more hours, but the tree does that in the autumn. Then we go to sleep for, I don't know, I like 8-10 hours, whatever you guys do, maybe 4 or 5, whatever your schedule is. That is the winter. And so our day is the tree's year. It's on a different timeline, but it does the same thing that we're doing. And it shows us how to do that.
Right.
That makes so much sense, the way that you explain that.
Good.
Absolutely. Like,
Good.
I'm going to California in October, and I'm going to see those. I'm going to go up to the national forest right outside of SFO and go see those trees, because they've always been something I want to go see.
That'll be so pretty.
The people standing like at one, and it's like they look so small compared to them. I'm like, I want to go in front of that tree and just like touch it and connect with its energy. Like, that is my thing. Like,
know that when you do that, Jenny, know that that is a part of your relative. That is your relation. That tree knows you and has consciousness. And if you can touch it on whatever sentient place it is, it knows that you are touching it. It knows that you are touching it. Find that relation, because that is your, I don't know, maybe grandfather, maybe aunt, whatever it is. That is a part of, and that is where shamanism and the concept of animism, trying to wrap us back up to the beginning. Right. The shamanism, the animism is to go, this is all my relation. And a lot of times when people say that, we think, oh, we're all relation, meaning people to people. I'm like, oh, no, all relation. The trees, the birds, the black dogs, the butterflies, all of it, all my relation, all of it. And if I can find the connection within myself, know yourself, and only when you know yourself, then and only then you could find a true connection, because you cannot connect with anything if you don't have a stance. Know yourself and reach out and ask for the wisdom of the non-English speaking world and the non-5-fingered world, and it will talk to you in pictures and in concepts. Take those and don't feel like you have to run it past a shaman. Take those and know that you have to run it past your ancestors. Mm-hmm. Period.
Mic drop. Oh my God, I can't believe it's almost been an hour. Holy crap. I feel like we need a part 2 now, Alicia.
We definitely need a part 2, because I loved listening to you and talking to you, GrandDaughter Crow.
I feel like every Llewellyn author we talk to, we need a part 2. Like,
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, in this last moment, may I say a blessing?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. Beauty walks before you. Beauty walks behind you. Beauty walks to your right, and beauty walks to your left. Beauty walks above you. Beauty walks below you. Beauty walks within you, for you are beauty.
Oh,
I love that.
Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you. Where can people find you? I know you have a podcast on YouTube. Where can people listen to it, get in contact with you, and get your book?
Absolutely. Thank you for that. I know we rolled, and we had so much fun, you guys. We had so much fun. GrandDaughter Crow, GrandDaughter Crow, GrandDaughter Crow. That's all you need to know. Well, if you want to find me. and that rhymed. I didn't mean it, but go to GrandDaughterCrow.com. You'll find all of the books that I've written, the books that I've contributed to. Got more books coming out in the future. Wisdom of the Natural World, which Ginny mentioned before. This is one of my #1 bestsellers. I think it's a really good companion. It talks about how spiritual and practical teachings from plants, animals, and Mother Earth. It kind of was the foundation of what I was doing when I was talking to Alicia about the butterfly, etc. My latest book is Shamanism in Your Shadow. Let those spirit guides take you through. I also have a podcast, Belief, Being, and Beyond, where I love bringing great people to expand our consciousness. Whatever you believe in constitutes how you behave in the world. And there's always something more. Let's keep our curiosity up. Thank you, guys. I love it.
No, thank you.
Mhm.
We'll definitely have to get you back on and do part 2, because like Alicia said, we have so much more questions that we didn't even touch. And
one more.
Okay.
Where, do you have any events coming up that you're going to be at?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. I've got a lot of, I guess if we want to talk about events, what I would say is I am going to be rolling out As the Veil Thins on my podcast. It's free. It's online. Go to GrandDaughter Crow at YouTube, subscribe. Every Saturday in the month of October, I am going to be talking about Samhain. Then I'm going to have, oh my goodness, Jamie Wagner with Hades and the Underworld talk to us about the Wild Hunt. I'm going to have somebody that you guys have had on your show, Nikki Wardwell Sleeth. She's going to talk to us about right way relationship. And then I'm going to have wonderful Laura Gonzalez talk to us about Dia de los Muertos right before it, so that we know how to celebrate. So if you liked what I said today, you don't need to do anything else except for jump over YouTube at GrandDaughter Crow. Give me a subscribe. I love you guys, and pay attention to that.
Put the notification bell on.
Like, comment, and subscribe. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I had no idea I would have so much fun on your show.
Absolutely. Definitely. We'll have to get you back on, because that was, Joshua says, you guys are amazing. Don't forget to eat Taco Bell. Every show comes up with Taco Bell with Joshua.
I saw that. I saw Joshua saying Taco Bell before, and I'm like, what is up with Taco Bell? Like, what's this?
It's an inside joke. I don't know. Yeah. He likes to eat Taco Bell. Let's just leave it there.
I think it's because Alicia said, hit the notification, dong, eat Taco Bell. I don't know.
That's funny.
But yes, we will definitely get you back on. It probably won't be until after the new year, but we will definitely get you back on to continue this conversation and continue to dive into all of this information that you have. Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Blessings to you. And you know what, you guys? Have a wonderful day on purpose.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again. And yes, I will definitely get in contact with you.
Have a good night.
Bye. So that was GrandDaughter Crow, you guys. Please go reach out, find her on YouTube, and follow and subscribe to her. She has so much more information.
Ding.
Ding, ding, ding. And while you're on YouTube, please go and subscribe to Unturned Pages. Click that little ding button, subscribe. We are trying to get 150 by the end of this month. So please go out and subscribe to us on YouTube. In early September, we will have a raffle on our Facebook page. I am working on putting it all together. But I can say you will get a copy of GrandDaughter Crow's book. You will get a copy of Richard Estep's book about Whisper's Estate. You will get a signed T-shirt that is signed by multiple paranormal people that we all love and know. You'll get some crystals. You'll get so much good stuff in this raffle basket that will be shipped to you at no cost. So look out for that information on our Facebook page. Hopefully by the 7th of September, I'll post that. But you guys go to our Facebook page. There is a giveaway from our sponsor, Paraware. All you have to do is go like their Facebook page, screenshot that you liked it, comment that screenshot, and you'll be entered to win a free T-shirt from them. Any T-shirt on their website, you will get a free shirt if you win. And that closes before the show next week, so I can announce the winner on the show next Sunday.
Yay, close!
Right. Our guest next Sunday is Roar Party Paranormal. They're out of Florida. I have to think for a second, like Florida. They have a Paraflick show. They are an amazing group. I love them. I love Eric. I love Franny. They are amazing people. So I'm super excited to have them on next Sunday. And then, like I said in the beginning, the first Sunday of September, we will be talking all things Scarefest. So if you've been to Scarefest, please hop into the chat that day. Tell us your experiences, who you're excited to see this October. Give me some insight because I've never been to Scarefest, so this is a whole new thing for me. But we will be back next Sunday, same time, same place, with Roar Party Paranormal. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and we will see you back next Sunday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.